on AM 640.
I'm a Spaceman. It's View from Space. It's Talk Radio, AM 640. Like the email? Spaceman at 640toronto.com or space at 640toronto.com. Let me call him B. Hey, Mr. Spaceman, Canada is a beautiful country, but it's being destroyed. The government has dropped this country like a hot potato and becoming a little sock puppet of the United States. Harper is turbocharging Canadians straight into austerity, exactly the same path as the U.S. is on, via the same raping and pillaging the IMF and the white shoe boys, banksters have done degrees. This is the United States of Canada, and the agenda and endgame is one and the same for all. It's time for our own career, Spaceman. It truly is inevitable. Sign B, thanks for all the truth and nothing. Bye. Yeah, we're sliding into debt. Canada will be in a major debt by 16. And when I mean major, I mean big debt. Because that is going to be the fate of every single country around the world. Although I will definitely say all the leaders put in power and put in place are Illuminati control. There is no doubt about that. And their job is to spend us into a debt. And when we get heavily into debt, begin cutting things for the people. Service the debt only. In other words, make sure the creditors get theirs. So as I was saying, Rome's temporary control over the beast is only tolerated by this rising Antichrist so that she can be used to bring her illegitimate children together in unity, so that together they may be destroyed all at once. Because the 10 kings that rise will devote all of their power, authority, and will to the establishment of that finalized kingdom of the Antichrist by destroying religious aspects of Mystery Babylon. Just before this event, Revelation 18, lines 4 through 8 says, I heard another voice from heaven saying, Come out of her, my people. Don't be partakers in her sins. Don't receive her plagues. Her sins have reached to heaven, and God has remembered her iniquities. And you will be rewarded as she is rewarded. How much has she glorified herself? Therefore shall all her fiery plagues come in one day. Revelation 18:7 reveals that in her final form, Babylon, the economic center from which the Antichrist holds all power over the planet's wealth, is no longer referred to as a harlot, but instead as a queen. For example, Britannia. Queen Britannia. Even an arrogant queen that does not recognize herself as being widowed by the destruction of her former religious consort. Like Vatican City, London's Inner Temple is also a privately owned corporation or city-state located in the heart of Greater London. There are 2 Londons. There is the City of London, which is the financial area, and then there is Greater London. The City of London is located in the heart of Greater London, has its own mayor, its own police force. It became a sovereign state in 1694 when King William III of Orange privatized and turned the Bank of England over to the bankers. By 1812, Nathan Rothschild crashed the English stock market and scammed control of the Bank of England. Today, the city-state of London is the world's financial power center and the wealthiest square mile on the face of the earth. Have you ever heard a quote on the British pound or that it is in trouble? No, you haven't. Oh, yes. England is in dire straits with a debt, but their currency is like no other. Today, the city-state of London is the world's financial power center. The stock markets around the world are controlled by London's square mile. It houses the Rothschild-controlled Bank of England, Lloyd's of London, the London Stock Exchange, all British banks, the branch offices of 385 foreign banks, 70 U.S. banks are stuck into that square mile, along with the 385 foreign banks. All of these banks under control of the players behind the scenes, the ones who are causing all of the bubbles and popping them. The City of London has its own mayor. It's not part of Greater London, England, or the British Commonwealth, and pays no taxes. The city-state of London houses Fleet Street's newspaper and publishing monopolies also. It's also the headquarters for the worldwide English Freemasonry and headquarters for the worldwide money cartel known as the Crown. The Club of Rome, the conspiratorial umbrella organization I began the show with, promoting a one-world government. It's a marriage between Anglo-American financiers and the old secret nobility families of Europe, particularly the so-called nobility of London, Venice, and Genoa. The key to the successful control of the world is their ability to create and manage savage economic recessions and eventual economic depressions. And they are behind the takedown of the United States, along with the like-minded American bankers whose interests lie with the Antichrist that's to come. Because of the prophecy in Daniel 9:26, which reveals that the Antichrist will come from the people that destroyed Jerusalem in 70 AD, we know the Queen City will be found in what was once the Roman Empire. Albeit the future queen of economic Babylon is therefore perfectly represented in its Britannia form. Interestingly enough, London was actually created and founded by the Romans in 33 AD, the same year Christ was crucified. It quickly became a large industrial Roman port city linking London directly to Rome, after which Rome then flooded thousands of troops into England through their new city stronghold, where they conquered ancient Britain all the way north to Hadrian's Wall. And that wall still stands today. As a matter of fact, last year there was a great, huge celebration of the 1600th anniversary of Roman power leaving England. And the Pope, for the first time, paid an official visit. Some biblical prophecy authors and researchers have debated for decades, announcing that the Antichrist must be a Roman and arise out of Rome, which comes from their understanding of the scriptures in Daniel and Revelation. But a more careful and a deeper look into those same prophecies clearly indicate that the coming prince arises out of a nation and city that was part of the ancient Roman Empire, not Rome itself. The fact that Londinium, originally was actually created by Roman hands does reveal an interesting connection and shows you that London became, in effect, the new Rome. Londinium was the original name of the city of London. Do you know the names of the two families that owned the real estate there and lived there? The two tribes, the two English tribes that lived at that spot called Londinium. They were the Sax tribe and the Middleton tribe. Ancient days they were called the Middles. Ever heard of Middlesex? Takes the name from the Middles, the Middletons. Catherine Middleton married a Sax. The two tribes that owned the property of Londinium in those ancient times in England were married earlier this year, locked in matrimony. The Sax tribe, represented by the Saxe-Coburg Goat Prince William, and Catherine Middleton, representing the Middle tribe. Ancient landowners of Londinium. England, in its new capital of London, gained in power, prestige, and global influence. You can see by this example how a historic commercial and financial Goliath, like the 677-acre former ancient Roman settlement, the City of London, with its renowned bank awash in Masonic connections, will certainly fulfill its intended role. With the British Isles' historic Celtic beliefs together with what is known as British Israelism, you can find a strong foundation for a religion which can be used to position the Antichrist as the last days false Messiah. Combining these facts with the January and December 1999 reports from the Electronic Telegraph with a proposal to replace Britain's coronation service with a multi-faith ceremony with contributions from other faiths, and that the religion of the United Kingdom would no longer be explicitly Protestant in its opposition to Roman Catholicism, inclusion in government affairs. Great Britain is certainly on its way to fulfilling its roles prophesied in the Apocalypse. Space back with more on A View from Space on AM 640. This is Talk Radio.